Everybody, I'm I'm testing here. The video looks pretty horrible, and just figured today I'd wake up and try to come out here and see what a live stream would look like. And yeah, I don't know if it's working or not because there's nobody here because I didn't tell anyone I was going to do this. This is just a test, but it looks like I definitely need to get some better lighting out here if I'm going to do this. I don't know how the audio sounds, but I presume it sounds pretty good. Okay. What do you guys think? I think I'm probably going to end up. Oh, hey, look at that. I think there's people starting to show up. I'm not sure. Oh, participants. No, it's just the real Martian. Just me. Omar, Danny, Jens Hansen. How you guys doing? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm just out in the shop, just trying it out, Chuck. And lighting totally sucks. Watch this. What happens when I turn the backlight on, though? It lights my face up, but I'm sure that glare behind me is horrible. Hey, Danny, nice to meet you too. I'm doing all right. Really, really tired today. Hey, Mike, the video is blurry because of the horrible camera on this old laptop that I'm using here. Adam, what's up, buddy? How are you doing, man? You moved yet? Hello. Oh my goodness. Hello to Norway. Is it Gear? Matello de Long? I don't know. I probably hacked that up. Mark, howdy. QA. Seen you a lot. Thanks for following along for so long. You've been with us for a while. All right, I'll kill that light. I'll try to figure out a better light. This is the dark side Jeff and the light side Jeff. I don't know. This is my Jedi picture right here, right? Rob, howdy. I know, QA, you've been with me for a long time. Keeping me honest, aren't you? Yeah. All right, hey guys, since it is a test, I did come prepared to do a little actual work here. So I brought some Q&A out. I figured we turn this into a Q&A video, and since you guys are on, you're gonna get it live. You can ask some more questions, but I think I got about 10 questions here from subscribers. First from Grant. He is asking me, what am I using to pull the belly bay section with? And the answer is you're going to find out. So stay tuned. I have to do that, right? You guys know. You guys are going to put it together. Rehoboth Farms. And this is a question from a lot of you guys. He says, that thing looks like it's going to drag the ground and high center on any kind of rough terrain. What the heck is it for anyway? And to Rehoboth, I don't know if you're on here. Half face, yeah. Let's see. Okay, so what you guys can't see is that the ground is uneven, right? And you know, if we're building this in a shop on a cement slab, you would see that there's about 12 inches of clearance underneath the belly bay's very bottom to the ground. 12 inches is pretty good. I totally understand that that is limiting compared to where it was. But if you look at a moving van trailer, they come almost down like 2 inches off the ground, or one of those NASCAR trailers. Certainly made for pavement, and this one's going to need to go off-road a little bit. But it's, you know, there's a trade. You can't have everything that you want. So the trade here is we need the space for the digester and for the digestate tanks, as well as some pumps that need to go in there. So that's why the belly bay exists. You can't do everything we need to do in a Connex. That's another question that's very common that I get. Connexes just don't have enough volume. They have length and they have width, but they don't have volume to depth that we need. So that's the answer to that question. But it's one we're going to have to keep track of for sure. See, catch up on some comments here. And now you can fill your biogas. Jen Hansen, sorry, I'm trying. This is, hey guys, I'm new at this. This is my first live stream ever. Adam, congrats on the fully moved and settled. That's awesome. So happy for you guys. Sorry, Chuck, on the lighting. I'll work on it. I'll come up with a better solution. Rob, howdy. Let's see here. And now, how can you fill your biogas digester? Okay, Jens, I think you're probably referencing the fact that we built the top over it, the deck, and we did not close off the entry to the digester, and that's going to be a project we're going to tackle this summer because I do want that fully up and operational. We still have the biogas generator, and I want to run it. So that's a problem that we're going to deal with. But honestly, the way I'm leaning is it's got to be pumped in. Everything else just doesn't seem to work. QA, thanks for the rebuild comment. Wait till you see everything here. There's a lot more going on that Wrangler Star hasn't been able to expose to everybody. He gets with 1.5 million subscribers, he gets to have all the inside scoops, right? He's helping me out. He's so awesome. So he gets all the live stuff, but you guys get to see the build up to it. In fact, in today's video, I was talking about, wouldn't it be nice if we could actually update the shop someday? And so that's obviously behind when we actually did it. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay, let's see here. Smash that like button. Heck yeah, smash it all day long, man. Smash it like that. Get the smashing going on. Everybody like the like button. I need everybody's help to get the word out on The Real Martian. We've got some goals that we need to make here. I'm going to let the cat out of the bag. We got 4 months of money left in the bank, and honestly, that's making it hard to sleep. So tell everybody you know about the Real Martian channel and help us get subscribers and get that count up because right now YouTube does not pay the bills, not even close. So we need as much help there as we can get, and on Patreon as well. Tell folks about that. Let's see here. Thanks, Adam, for following. Have a good day. Prototype, will the production finished build be? Yes, QA. This is, we've got to do what we got to do to build this one. You would not build this in this manner if you're in a full production environment. So that means our financial plan has CapEx in it so that we can actually procure or rent the facility so that we can do everything inside. And it's nice going through this process because I've already found out stuff that I want to have for that facility, like a drop floor. A pit, if you will, to do some of the work. So and what tools we need, forklifts, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's definitely, we're not going to be building these on the property here. Maybe we'll build 1 or 2 more here just because we have to, depending on if we're successful, of course. Let's see here, Rob, does the hab need to be turnkey or is assembly on site an option? Well, there's a few ways to answer that, Rob. The answer is it can be both. One idea we have is to sell plans for it. So if people want to do stuff on their own, they can come buy the plans from us, certification, all those types of things for both the permanent version, which is the hab, or the mobile version, which is lifepod, which is what you're seeing being built right now. But honestly, what I want is people to be able to come into like a showroom and say, I want that. And tomorrow I want it delivered. And as soon as it gets delivered, they go hit the big green button, if you will. It won't have a big green button, but they'll hit the app, they'll turn it on, and it'll just power up and start doing its thing. I do want it to be turnkey. Have a good one, Chuck. Huge fan. Rahul, Cap, thanks for that. Wood gasifier, not right now. It'd be the biogas digester for us. Pierre, howdy from France there. Appreciate you following along. I'm Wrangler, sorry, sent me Doom 2024. Hey, appreciate the support. Coming at you from the Middle East on deployment. Kevin, hey man, thanks for your service. What unit are you guys with? Presume Afghanistan, or are you over in the sandbox there in Iraq? All right, I'm gonna go to another question here. From MCG Texas, last name. Have you thought about community distributed 3D printing? The answer is not really. Until I posted that, everybody was like, wow, hey, you can use our printer. The only problem is with that, and you're going to see, if you've been following us on Instagram, you can see that we are building something, and it is a 3D printer, and it is huge. It's going to be probably about 2 or 3 weeks before you see all those videos come up because we're that far behind on real time. But distributed 3D printing, I could do some stuff. The grow cups could be distributed, and then you'd have to get the food safe PLA that I found out of Canada to print it, and we could work something there. If you are interested in doing that, shoot me an email at TRM@TheRealMartian.com. I'll go with some comments here. Looking toward from Mike, do you believe the lifepod will run into zoning or coding restrictions in some states? You know, Mike, that's a great question. One of the reasons why we chose to go with the trailer over a Connex is because, I mean, one, it just won't work. Connexes won't work from a volume standpoint. But two, the most liberal states, which are the most hard to get certification in, they require certificates and permitting to put a Connex on site. Now, someone's going to jump out and say, "Well, no, I bought a Connex and I put it on my, you know, on my land with none of that." And the answer is, well, yeah, good for you, but most of the places do require permitting, and they require a Connex use permit to legally have that there. And in California, for example, you would have to have it recertified every year. In Washington State, you have to have it. Now, in our county that we live in, I've talked to them directly, and they're like, well, we're a county that deals with complaints. So if you do something like a Connex and nobody complains, then, you know, you can build whatever you want on your property if nobody complains. But if you go to sell it, or if you have somebody complain, then they're going to crack you across the head. The cool thing about a trailer on wheels, on axles, not a motorhome type of thing, because motorhomes do have different certification requirements that put you back into the International Building Code and International Residential Code. But for a trailer, there's no permits required. So then the only thing you have to worry, there's no permits for your property use required. It does have to be certified by the Department of Transportation for your province or state, country, so you can move it on the road. For your property use required. It does have to be certified by the Department of Transportation for your province or state, country, so you can move it on the roads. To the trailer are minor compared to what we could be doing. They'll confirm, then I go to the State Department of Transportation, federal, and get certification. Once I do that once, we're good. But no matter what we do, we have to get it certified for lifepod. But the cool thing is the owner of the lifepod won't have to do anything. You won't have to go to the state. You won't have to go to the county. The only thing you'd have to worry about is homeowners association for your area. So good question. QA from the UK. Okay, a Connex is a shipping container. So those big metal shipping containers. Connex is just a short for them. Okay, yeah. Yeah, Illinois laws, got it. Yeah, the laws, some of the laws, they're just laws to make laws, I think. All right, here's another question from CF. Have you thought about vacuum forming panels? In the voids, you can simply form dimples that would extend from the front of the panel to the back panel, therefore limiting the flex. A jig and router could easily cut out the holes, very little tooling. Also, plastic panels are stocked everywhere throughout the country. And the answer is no, I did not think about that, and I am now looking into it, thanks to everybody on YouTube for pointing that out and making me feel very stupid. But yeah, no, we'll be looking at that. Okay, from Arth A122, do you use COMSOL multiphysics for flow simulations? We got it in engineering school and it's great. I do not use COMSOL multiphysics for flow simulation. The simulations I use are SolidWorks, FlowSim, and MATLAB, SimScape, and Simulink together. And that's how I've done my fluid calculations there. All right, okay. Okay, well, Kevin, you stay safe wherever you're at. And if you're a snake eater, really appreciate everything you're doing over there. If you're not a snake eater, still appreciate everything you're doing, but stay extra safe, remain vigilant. Okay, thank you for clearing that up for me. Your project, how small the carbon footprint. All right, it's actually negative carbon footprint right now over the long haul. Mike. At least that's the calculations. So Dustin, yeah, definitely hit that like button, everybody. Crank it up. Yeah, and to people who are just joining on, you didn't hear at the very beginning, but this was a test. I'm obviously out in the shop, and the lighting sucks, and the audio's not all that great because I'm on my old laptop here. But I think it's pretty cool that I can talk to you guys on this, and I'll work on lighting and all that, making it better. This is my first live stream, so pop in the live stream cherry. Here we are today. Okay, here's a very, very good question. I think it's from Serge. It's 4 days ago. Jeff, I have a question for you. You do not have an agricultural background, which I believe constrains your effort. The concept is great, but where do you see your market for this product? I know you talk about third world countries, but who do you see paying for it? Also, how much training will be required to maintain your system since you're going high-tech on this, and third world countries do not have the education to maintain high-tech projects like this? I think that's a great question. There's a lot to unpack here, so I'm going to keep looking at it as I read it. All right, agricultural background. You're right, I don't. I'm an engineer. I'm a program manager. I was in the Air Force. Growing things is not my forte. If you've watched the channel for a while, you know my wife and I went through the school of hard knocks, and we did learn how to grow a lot. And last year our garden was very, very successful. And this year I'm looking forward to that. So we're learning. That said, we've asked a few times for volunteers or somebody who really wants to be a part of this project, who is the botanist, the horticulturalist, you know, the guy who has or gal who has the PhD, who really wants to be a part of what we're doing, because we know we need that. We're weak in that area, and I've asked. So I'm asking again, if you guys know someone, I'm working for free right now, so I can't pay anyone. So if someone's really passionate and they want to be that person for us, our lead grower, then by all means, we need that help. That said, that doesn't constrain what we're doing, because techniques that we're using to grow, they've been proven by other people. NASA in particular has proven the things that we're going to be using. Other people have proven it. Heck, we've proven it. We've learned what to do and what not to do. Now, you know, someone's going to say, yeah, but growing is an art, you know, and it takes a long time to learn it. You're right. You're absolutely right. To be a master, it does, for sure. But we don't have to be a master to get started. We have to be good enough to get going, and then we'll continually improve. And that is my kind of motto, is continuous improvement. I do not believe in finding the perfect solution or waiting for the perfect answer before I do anything. I believe in doing smartly, not wastefully, which some people have accused me of, but I disagree with that, and building something. So I don't think a lack of an agricultural background slows me down, because it does hinder in the long term. I don't want to lie or cover that up, but we're taking what other people have done and we're commercializing it. And that's the learning, is how to take what other people have done and turn it into a commercial product that's not R&D, that's not, you know, putting stuff together like what we did out in Have One. Have One was a successful failure because it showed us all the things that we did wrong, and we're going to fix those in LifePod 2 and in Have 2. All right, the concept is great, but where do you see your market for this product? Well, I mean, honestly, the market is probably going to start where the money is at, not in the third world countries. The market's going to start with supermarkets, hotel chains, restaurants, people who want to live off grid, or people who just want to have, you know, small communities and grow their own food and energy. That's not a global take over the world market, but it is a very sizable one. And I have done that market analysis, and it is measured in billions of dollars as far as its total market size. So the third world country idea is where we want to get to, but you got to build your company first and then be able to go do the more noble things. So it's a building block approach here. We already have interest from people who do want to live off grid. We have about 4 customers identified that said, hey, we'd like to buy one. These people have money, like to be off grid. We have some restaurants that are interested, and some shopping chains over on the East Coast there that are interested in these trailers, where they can pull them up, put them in their parking lot, not have to buy any more land, and actually start growing right there on their site, and not have to modify their store like World Market and others are doing. So we do have interest in those areas. We just got to build it. How much training will be required to maintain your system since you're going high tech? Okay, so the high techness of it, some of the high tech in there, like the computer monitoring, isn't really going to be super high tech. We're talking about watchdog scripts that watch the system based on logical flow chains, and to tell us when stuff is wrong. And then that notify through an app that is being developed that'll notify the user of what is wrong. You know, so for example, the use case I gave the app developers is I'm a person who doesn't know anything, and I turn the system on and something's wrong. I want the system to tell me what is wrong and what I need to do. So they'll have their little app, you know, I guess as a prop here. You know, I have my app on my smart device or tablet, and I come in, it knows where I'm at because of locality, and it says, oh, you have a blocked flow, you know, here, go check this out. And it pops up and it says, here's the steps to go through. That's going to take us time to develop all that, but that's what we want to be able to do. And then they go through the troubleshooting steps that we've developed for them, which will continue to get better over time. And they actually will be like, oh, okay, you know, here's what's wrong. And it gets them down to the point of either calling customer service or actually like the part's bad, order the part. You want to order the part? Yes, I do. Okay, part's ordered, it's on its way. And the system readjusts itself so that that part doesn't stop growing, because we've built in a lot of redundancy so that they can do that. But you will have to get basic training, and that's something that we're going to offer through Eat and Grow Systems. Okay, they don't, yeah, because third world countries don't have the education to maintain high-tech projects like this. Yeah, well, that's something that we want to deal with through global logistics and support. So we don't want the system to be complicated. In fact, we want to make it to where people who don't know how to grow stuff can grow stuff. That's what we're trying to get to. That is the goal. Let me catch up on some comments here. Hoorah! Amen, brother. So we actually had interest from some folks at SOCOM. We went to a conference there and talked to some admirals and folks from SOCOM, and they are potentially interested because security, part of security is food and energy, right? And we also do waste management. So LifePod 2 not only generates all of its own power and food for up to 4 people, but it can also recycle waste, organic waste. Yeah, I'm really proud of Rob, the internet stream. I'm really happy with this. I didn't think it was going to work. Yeah, FEMA, Red Cross, yeah, those are types of folks we'd like to go after as well, because they can just grab a whole trailer, move it in, and start growing food for long-term disaster support, like what happened to Katrina. You know, months and months and months of disaster support. We can support that. Oh, by the way, the trailer is not meant to be moved loaded, as in all the weight, all the water weight. It is not designed to be moved fully loaded. It has to be empty to move. So that's a huge thing that people need to know. I agree. Analysis paralysis is the enemy of good enough. I've done hydroponic tomatoes and had to learn a lot just by doing and making mistakes. Yep. Arduino versus Raspberry versus custom PCB. In the long term, we'll get to custom PCBs because we'll have quantity and volume. But I think we might be making a jump to Raspberry Pi just because they're so cheap and very powerful. But we'll see. We're also looking at the NVIDIA Jetson Nano for the AI computer. It's about a $100 computer that can run the AI that we need to do. Our AI is going to be a simple AI. You can actually develop it on your own. People think AI is like this really crazy out there thing. We're not talking about Cylon's AI or Star Trek AI. We're talking about image recognition and a bunch of logic chains that follow through that. So that AI can be built. I actually could build one here using MATLAB and just follow the YouTube videos. AI's come a long way as far as the type that we're going to be using. Can you tell us the production output difference between this design and the last one? Well, I think the metric that you'd want to use, QA, is probably output versus volume of the facility, and the output of LifePod 2 HAB2 will be a higher ratio of output to square footage or cubic footage. It will be more dense. And then, oh, sorry, I'm just reading your comment here. Okay. Yeah, HAB1 was like, it was sized originally for 16 families of 4. And it was easier for me to buy all the big parts, you know, the pallet racking and all that stuff, than what we're doing right now. A lot faster. So it's a different scale. The LifePod 2 and the HAB2s, we're not intending to like, we're intending to have them all daisy chained to each other. So they all connect to each other and then can share. And that's how you scale. That way you can keep your production costs low and not be doing custom builds all the time. Custom builds equal a lot of money. So what we want to do is get into a very basic design that stays the same, and then we work the supply chain angle to get the cost out of everything. So take supplier requests for engineering analysis, SREAs, and take those in and actually update our design so that it's easier to manufacture, easier to produce, get all the waste out of it, do some Six Sigma stuff, and really get the cost down so that it can be very affordable. And that's going to take time to do all that. Hey, Morphine Swordfish, thanks for checking in. Yeah, it's my first one I'm doing. We believe it is genuinely good for the world. So are you going to take one to the Mother Earth conference? Oh my goodness, I would love to. Yeah, I would love to go there. You have better connectivity than Cody. Hello from Switzerland. I have a secret weapon. I told Cody about it. I'm going to do a video on it, but I've done so many different things on internet, but I finally found something that works. So I'm going to do a video though. I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, I told him about it just last week. So this is a good test. Okay, let's see here. I will be able to eat some potatoes. I cannot wait. You guys are going to like it, how these, so we have grow walls and grow towers. They're all custom, but they're all based on other people's. Grow walls are actually kind of our design, but it's the same premise. I think a lot of people pointed that out, that there's grow walls out there. So what are you doing different? But we did make some modifications, and I'm excited for the grow walls, which will be our leafy greens and strawberries and herbs. And they're not intended to do anything else other than that. That's what they're good for. But then we have grow towers, which are highly modular systems that allow us to even grow root vegetables like potatoes, carrots, onions. I am really excited to get those going. And again, that's using techniques that other people have already done. We do have some things that we've done different and that we are trying, but I'm excited to get those here. Have to have energy? Yes. It will have solar and wind, Artha 122. Which I answered your question about flow simulations earlier, by the way, so you have to go back and watch that. HAB2 and LifePod 2 and everything going forward that we build, LifePod 3, HAB3, etc., they all use what we call the Genesis system, which is the patent that I submitted, all the pieces coming together. So it's always going to have food and energy production in it, and it'll always be carbon negative. As long as all the numbers, work out. Kevin, when you get HAB2 up and running, would an open house walkthrough? Yes, heck yeah. No, we definitely want to do that. We have to figure out the logistics and legalities of it, because when you start getting a bunch of people up here, if they get hurt, then we're liable for it. If someone, puts their hand somewhere that they're not supposed to. So that's something that my neighbor has actually taken on, and you have to put a bunch of signs up and call it agritourism, and there's a bunch of things you have to do. You can't just open it up and let people come, because someone's going to get hurt. And in today's liable, society where everybody wants to sue you, that could destroy us. So we want to, but we have to be smart about it. Okay. Hi from Texas. Hey, Michael. Yeah, thanks for joining us. Morphine. Okay. Will you be attempting the week challenge once again? Yes, definitely. For more than one reason. If you see what's going on in the world today, I'm a little concerned about what's happening out there. But I'm telling my wife, people have you guys noticed how many people come down on folks for actually using their own brain and thinking and looking ahead? Oh my goodness, I cannot believe how many negative comments I've even received, or Cody, Wrangler Star, just because we're both up sitting here at Boy Scouts and we're like, hey, looks like there's a storm coming here. We should get ready for the storm. If you're in Florida and you see a hurricane off the coast, most people start putting boards on the windows if it's headed your direction. You get water and everything and make sure everything's taken care of. But people are so negative these days. If you talk about COVID in any way, shape, or form like it's concerning you, then you're a fearmonger, which is total horse beep. Censoring myself there. But anyway, I keep telling my wife, we've slowly procured some things. We're not hoarding. We're, we have a 1 week plan, a 3 week plan, a 1 month plan, 3 months, 6 month, 1 year, and then 3 year plan as things progress. If things start getting worse, then we know what we want to do. And it's really cool when we sit there and we go, the best thing that we can do is finish LifePod 2. Like, it has everything we need. We can even plug it into the house house and run the house for a little bit on it. So no, I mean, that is a testimony to what we're doing, is when you're actually in a situation like what's kind of happening and you really think about how you would be surviving. Like, it's really cool that lifepod 2 Hab 2 has everything that you really want. It's going to have fish in it. It's going to have your vegetables. It'll have root vegetables. It'll have diversity of crops in it. It's developed, produces its own power with a little extra. And depending on how you use the system, you can siphon some off. That's cool for us because we have that big solar panel bank out there, and we can't use it if the grid goes down. And by grid go down, I don't mean like the end of the world apocalypse. I mean like there's a bunch of people sick, we get a storm, and the linemen can't get out there for like 2 weeks, which is not unheard of when you live out in the middle of nowhere. We can't use our solar panels if the grid's off because of safety issues that are built into a grid-tied system. And it's going to cost like $8,000 to get it off grid where it can work in both conditions. I would love to do that, but we don't have $8,000 to go spend right now. So getting lifepod 2 up and running means that we could actually plug it in to our house, because it will have AC power inverters in it now. I wanted to try to avoid that and just go all DC, but we had to do AC. They just don't have technologies that we need that are all DC yet. Maybe a future. But anyway, I'm excited because lifepod 2 does have everything in it. Hab 2, same thing. The Genesis system, it has everything you need to live with. And if you get communities of them, then you can have big diversity of crops, which is the idea, is that we're trying to feed small families and local communities. And I think that's all part of food security. And I think that's part of just nationwide security as well. Like, if you really look at our security, if you really want to make people get scared, then just break logistics for a while, 3 days in fact, and the world's going to go nuts because they can't get food and they can't get power. And we depend on those things pretty heavy duties these days. So I think the future security of all of our nations of the planet involves getting food and energy production decentralized and put back in the hands of the individual families and small communities. And that's a guiding principle for what we're doing. But yeah, I want to do the week challenge. That was a long answer to that. And we'll probably be doing longer than a week challenge. It'll probably be like, hey, look at this. We haven't had to go to the store for the last 2-3 months because all the food is coming from lifepod 2. Except for to go get spices and stuff. Yeah, still, you can't replace all that. You can't have everything. You still need community. Thanks, Dustin. God bless you guys as well. Which you have damage to the plant's humidity, whiteflies. Will there be, Mike, I'm reading your comment here. Oh, where'd it go? Redundancies can contain times in which you have damage to the plant's humidity, whiteflies, etc. TBD on that one, being honest. That's a problem we're going to have to get into. And if you were here earlier, I said we really need to have the grow master on the team. So I'm opening up, putting that call to action. If somebody wants to be a me, I'm the chief ops and technology officer for Eden. We need the chief grow master. You don't get paid when you're in a startup right now. So if you're willing to take a risk like I have, or you even have time just to commit and come here and help us, we're looking for that master grower to help us with issues like that. We're weak in that area. We need help. Let's see here. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to catch up to all your comments. Like I said, this is my first time doing this. Okay. This is a real solution. Yes, it is. Yeah, exactly. Right. Morphine, that's exactly what I don't understand. It's really flipping my noodle. The only answer I have, so Mike was saying people don't complain about fire extinguishers, but God forbid you prepare for anything else. Like, exactly, right? If you go on a trip, you prepare. You make sure your oil is good. You have gas in the car works. You have road flares, and well, most people should be doing that, I guess. You're ready for it so that if something happens, you have a cell phone. Every time I leave, it's like, okay, here's the situation. I'm leaving. What's the most important thing in case something goes wrong? I have my credit card and I'm phone, right? Two things you always want. And it's so amazing how negative people are if you actually use that for anything else. If you don't toe the party line and say what your party is telling you. I mean, unfortunately, they politicized it. It's total bullshit. It makes me so mad. Anyway. Yeah, I double my stockpile. Yeah, exactly. Hey, thanks, Chef. Really appreciate that call out there. Yeah, a battery backup would be awesome, but like I said, it's $8 grand just for the inverters, and then it's a lot more for the batteries. Once we get lifepod 2 up and running, it does have batteries in it, so that's why I'm saying it's a great solution. I really am excited about lifepod 2. I mean, I wouldn't put my life at risk here if I wasn't excited about it, guys. You've never heard me say that, live like this, so hopefully you understand and can get the emotion now. But it really should work. I mean, all the math that could be done, I've done. Your system is awesome. Can't imagine the time and energy you spent designing it by yourself. Well, over a year, and then 3 years of building and 1 year of designing Have One, and 5 years of research before that. So yeah, almost a little over a decade right now. The wind is definitely going to be part of it as well, Kevin. We have 2 wind turbines that are going to be going on the trailer. Excited. It will not be going on the trailer when it goes down the road. To the person who's thinking of typing that right now, they come off for transportation and they go on once you get stopped. That's part of the assembly you do have to do. They're not going to pop out like a transformer. I got that question too. Like, can you do a transformer version? And I'm like, yeah, but it won't be cheap. Okay, but it would be cool. Spice Pod 1.0, heck yeah, that would be awesome. We probably do some different grow walls and stuff like that, but we could do that. Those grow towers are kind of the real unique thing. I'm excited to get those going. They're getting fab right now. They're going to be made of stainless steel just for food to your house. You can put them in your garage. The grow wall is that holds the lights and the grow wall, and you put like 2 or 3 stacks on it. So I'm excited to get that going. Grow tower's going to be cool. No, I want everything on the tower I want everything on the trailer. The only thing that someone's going to have to do is they'll have to have a gantry to walk up to it. That's going to be something that we'll sell, or they can buy their own, or build it out of wood. It'd be easy. It's probably what we'll do right now. But they actually sell stairs that go up to trailers, and I'm trying to get the height and everything just right so that you can get something off the shelf. But the solar panels will be on it, and then it'll have a fairing on front to keep the wind from hurting it when it goes down the road. These trailers are not meant to be moved fully loaded again, folks. They're meant to be kind of moved once, maybe twice in their life to their location. It's not going to be Mad Max. It was not designed to be Mad Max style, where you're driving down with your armored vehicle caravan, carrying your food with you. I could see doing that, but it wasn't designed for that. Not this first go around. Not lifepod 2. Maybe lifepod 3 or 4 will be more robust as we get into it, assuming we're successful. Do you have clear goals? Because I am lost how you earn money. I think you have to choose your path, stick with it. Okay. Yeah, we do have very clear goals. In fact, I was communicating those goals to some of our team members today. Our goal right now is to build lifepod 2, period. End of story. Everything depends on that. And if we don't do it, then we're done. It's over. So that is the objective. And everything revolves around that goal. Another goal is to grow the YouTube channel, because it's a risk reduction. Honestly, we like sharing everything. I mean, I've loved having mission control, all you guys and everyone following around. It's really cool. It's cool to share. I like doing it. But we can make money from it, and so that's why I've done some product reviews. I'll do some more in the future. I try to keep all my product reviews very upfront and also very applicable to what we're doing. Sometimes I get ones that, if you're a new YouTuber, you kind of got to earn your way up. But growing the channel is another goal. And if I could have priority, the priority number 1 is lifepod 2 build, and priority number 2 is growing the channel. And from there, we call it a playbook, where we've actually documented each of the steps, building block steps. So, plans are good. I think it was President Eisenhower, Dwight said, plans, what did he say? It was a quote, famous quote. Plans mean nothing, but planning is everything. It's something like that. It's very much in line with that. And what he meant is, I mean, we all know it. Plans are good till you meet the enemy in battle and then they go out the door. But the idea is that you're prepared. You've thought through a situation, and you have certain on-off ramps. You have criteria that help guide you when everything goes wrong. Tango uniform. So we're using that same approach here. We have a plan. We have a strategy. It's been analyzed. We've shared it with our board members. It's not just me. There's a team effort going on there. Everyone agrees with the plan, agrees with the strategy, the playbook, as we call it. And it all depends on us getting this first one built. And then after that, we're going to follow the playbook unless the conditions on the ground require us to do something different. But yeah, the priorities are get the LifePod 2 built and then go from there. Grow the channel simultaneously with that, because you out there are all people who followed us and you've been very helpful. You're part of this journey. And I'm asking the call to action here is help us. Tell people about the channel, tell people about what we're doing. And, you know, I'm trying to get these consumer products built so that you can buy them. So the channel is all part of this strategy. So I think we have very clear goals. I probably don't clearly state that. You know, there's a lot I have to think about when I do videos and everything. So I'm sorry I haven't been more clear on that, but yeah, we definitely have clear goals. Let me get back to some of your questions here. Truly survive was being on a farm and being self-sustaining. That's it, Mike. You know, growing your own food is going to be grow microgreens. Like, who would pay that? I wouldn't pay that. That's a tenth of what we paid on Hab 1. What in the world are they thinking? Yeah, you could charge your batteries going down the road. Yep. I buy it. Yeah, there you go. A tabletop spice pod. Yep. Yep, parent. Welcome to the first live stream. Oh man, parent. Once wait till you see this printer. I'm having to redo parts of the shop because it's bigger than what the measurements were that I use. So there's two measurements. There's the main printer, and then there's a shell, an enclosure that can help maintain temperature control. And I took the measurement for the printer when I built the shelf that you guys haven't seen yet. And I got to rip it all out. The thing is huge. And it's today is day 5 of the build. So you'll be seeing those videos coming up in like 2 weeks. So those on the live stream are getting inside scoop here. By the way, again, for those that are new, the lighting and everything, we're just trying this out here. I'll work on it now that we know that a live stream works. So I'll make these better. Mad Max War Engine. Yeah, these times are amazing. We communicate real time. It is pretty cool, man. It is. This technology and being able to do this is really cool. It is like being on Mars. And I haven't even been in town in like 2 to 3 weeks now, guys. It's pretty nuts. And I don't mind it at all. On Cody, rocket scientist neighbor, I'm so impressed with the progress you've made. Thank you. Yeah, I wish I could spend more time doing more DIY. It would be awesome, but that's where we need Patreon support and the YouTube channel. If Alicia and I, that's my wife, Mrs. Martian, if we could get stuff, I'm being very honest. I'm always too transparent. Everyone, it's to my fault. If we could get Patreon and YouTube to be paying the bills, I would be doing some pretty cool stuff. I'd be doing what we're doing because I'm extremely passionate about it. It's where I want to go. But there's so many other things that you can do if you have the money to be able to go do it. I would love to go play with some DIY battery. Power is the future. And I have ideas on power that I would love to be playing with and sharing and doing the analysis on because I think there's alternative power sources out there that we haven't played with yet. So I would love to do that. I would love to be working on that problem because I think that's where it's at. Yeah, plans are worthless, but planning is everything. You got it. That's the Eisenhower quote. That would be awesome, Art. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just trying to keep up with the comments here. It would be cool someday. There's so many comments I could do that power thing where, you know, you gotta get some money from it. I hate to say that, but you know what? When you got 4 months of money left in the bank account, you start really focusing on those things. It's not like something you can just dismiss. Let's see. Did you get some messages from Jason Fireball Tools on YouTube? I messaged him when I could. I did not get any messages. No. I would have to check the spam or anything. I haven't seen anything. Hello, Jess. Hi. Welcome from South Africa there, man. I hope you guys are doing well, watching stuff in the news. It seems like it's interesting times for you as well. Across the planet, it's interesting, but for you guys, it looks like interesting stuff happening down there. So stay safe and God bless you. Hey, Mike, thanks. Really appreciate that. QA, we do have a GoFundMe. It's in the link down below and up on top of the channel there. It's like the equipment fund where people can go put money that comes in. Yep, we definitely have one of those. Any plans for growing meat animals such as chickens with these systems? Absolutely, Kevin. In fact, the HAB2 systems, we designate different pods. We call them Alpha Pod, Bravo Pod, Charlie Pod, and what's known as a Delta Pod. And we're just using alphanumeric. Which one do you think of first? So A is the first one we thought of. B, C, D is one that we thought of. So Alpha and Bravo pods are plant growing pods. One of them has more power production than the other, so it's noted as Bravo. Charlie, we're working with some nonprofits, and they're like, hey, if you can get, these things where they're really easy to build on the local economy, which helps them, builds jobs, and then give them a place to live and grow food, like you've got a really good thing going. So we did that. That's exactly what HAB2 is, that you can do all those things. So Charlie Pod is one you can live in, and Delta Pod is one that we're planning for rabbits to start off with, but you could do chickens as well. And what we've got to do is crack the nut on a humane system for caging, essentially. It gives them enough space to move around freely. They're not, we don't want to do the whole itty bitty box thing. That's not us. Other big ag does that. We don't want to do that. So we got to figure that out. But the poop and everything and all that, we've got ideas how to manage all that. It goes in the digester. It's a very good thing. And you can even grind up the leftovers in the grinder that we have in the HAB2 and send that in the digester and recycle it. So yeah, definitely have plans for that in the HAB2 system. Lifepod 2, haven't made it that far yet in that concept, doing a live critter version, but it is possible using the same ideas. Stay away from town as much as possible, my friend. With this new virus, I would just go camping. Wait, I live in the woods. My wife, when she says let's go camping, I'm like, hey, you can put the tent out outside. I'll sleep in the bed. I know that's totally copping out, but we live in a beautiful spot. We're so blessed, and I do not forget that. But yeah, I joke all the time. What should we do right now? The world's kind of going tango uniform on us, and the answer is let's move up to the woods. Wait, we live there. We live in the mountains. Patreon has different levels in their Cinder. The cheapest one is $1. I tried to set one at 50 cents, but it won't allow me to do that. So it's Patreon is different than GoFundMe if you're not familiar with them. GoFundMe is a one-time thing that you can put in money. As soon as you put it in, they take a little off the top. It comes to me. That's really appreciated. Patreon is a monthly thing. So if you enjoy what we're doing, it's like a membership. I'm not very good at Patreon right now, but I want to start doing more stuff like this, but with the patrons, so that they're getting value for the money they're putting in. But I just haven't figured it out. Honestly, I've been really busy and I have lots of excuses. But excuses aside, what you do on Patreon is you sign up for a level. I think I have like $1, $3, $5, $10, and there's like angel levels, which are like you're an amazing person and you're helping us pay our mortgage. And those are all listed on there, so you can go check it out and you just sign up for one. And if you like what's happening, you keep it. If you don't like what's happening, you can reduce it or you can cancel it. And that's what Patreon is. Atlas Survival Shelters, yes. Yep, I definitely follow them. And we agree. They're people that we want to reach out to, so share our story with them. Things are bad trying to keep head above water, running solar system myself and keep the guns lit. Yep. I got the reloading thing from my dad. I got to learn how to reload, but I put a bench in upstairs to do reloading. I want to learn that, so that's a good thing to have. QA, anything is appreciated, man. And you don't have to do something if you're stretched. Don't do that. I don't want to put someone in my same situation who's helping us, but your thoughts and prayers are good as well. But anyone wants to help, that's truly appreciated. All right, Mike, get back to work, man. How dare you watch a live stream at work? Bad. Just kidding. Appreciate it. Rabbits are cleaner to raise. Yep. Featuring the digester. The old digester, I think there's lots of videos. If you search my channel for digester as a keyword, it should help you. But loading and everything was a big problem we had with that. Have one digester. Okay, I got a few more questions, and we're going to end the live stream because I got to get to work here myself. Here's the #1 question on the Real Martian site. Drum roll, please. This is a huge question, very big, very life meaning, impactful. What is it in the background that sounds like a ping pong ball? That is the #1 question that I get. All right, I've answered it a few times, but to do it in live stream, it is the electric fence charger. It sends out a pulse, and I can't move it. It's where it's at because it's where it has to be. So it's part of the Real Martian experience, if you will. I should, you know, if I could be more quick on my feet, I would say something smart ass like it's Forrest Gump practicing or teaching me how to play ping pong. I don't know. We're preparing for the World Championships because we're almost out of money, so ping pong's our only way to do it, I guess. We rent out the barn for ping pong so that people can come over. It's a way that we have a side gig. But anyway, yeah, there's lots of questions on that one. Okay, I got 4 more questions here, and then I'll do a few more comments. We'll wrap it up. What are your thoughts on Kimball Musk Company square roots? Okay, so I looked at, people don't know this, I looked at 45 different companies before we made the decision to leave my job and do this full time. And I used to work in corporate intelligence, so it's one of the things that I did. I helped figure out corporate strategy, looked at competitors, did analysis. So it's one of the skills of my jack of all trades type of thing that I have. I did look at Kimball Musk Company, and he's not being hugely successful right now. In fact, most of the farm in boxes, the fibs as we call them, rightfully named because they're kind of lies. Their margins are so absolutely razor thin that the only thing they can do is grow high-end vegetables to high-end clients. And what they tend to do, especially with Kimball Musk Company, at least from what I've read on him, mind you, this was a few months ago, but I try to watch him. I don't have enough time to watch everybody every day. 40 companies, my goodness, that's a full-time job. But they do a lot of training. They do a lot of memberships, a lot of how-tos, and that's how they're making their big money. They have a lot of volunteers because it's Musk. It's a cool thing that they're doing, no doubt. I mean, to feed everyone is an all the above solution, right? There's not one. We're not talking about putting everyone out of business. I mean, we're one of many that will help. Our system has different solutions in it that make it better, I believe, than his. He's limited to volume and leafy greens. I mean, that's what he's going to be able to do, and our system will be able to do root vegetables and others, corn and everything like that inside. Not that you would replace the big cornfields or wheat fields. You're not going to do that either. We need those. But I think he has a cool thing going. I think his name gives him, and the fact that he's rich, helps him out a lot more. But from what I've seen, he's just another fib that's out there. Okay. You need to hide a ping pong paddle in your workshop videos. Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. It does sound like it. Yep, it does sound like it. I'm looking at the comments here. Do you plan to integrate sunlight into the plant growing to reduce? We did that trade. Hab 2 version 1 of it actually had a clear roof on it for exactly that reason, Polymath Pete. However, if you do all the analysis, you can't keep that roof, and the reason why is heat transfer. So then the next question I always get is, what about fiber optic light movers? And the answer is in the future. Maybe a version 4, version 5 of our systems would have that in it. The reason why the fiber optic light movers do get very complicated, it will increase the labor required to do a build because you have to have your fiber optic cables all over the place or install the lighting. So more labor costs. They're also a little finicky right now. And if you really want the efficiency off them, you need a light mover, a light tracker, sun tracker. So then you get some more complexity there, and we're watching every dollar. So when you add a $5,000 light tracker or a $2,000 one, and then a bunch of labor on top of it, your costs go up. Then you have to increase your price, or your margin drops. And you can't run a company with zero margin. You got to be able to cover everything and grow. You got to reinvest into the company so that you keep having new products, better products, product improvements. So you have to have margin to run a successful company. So I don't like adding a whole bunch of stuff. There's a bunch of cool things that we want to get to, but we're going to do it systematically. We got to get the foundation laid first, and then we'll go after the other cool things. Definitely bigger than just me. And I think we could. I think we could really go help people. I really believe that. I wouldn't do this if I didn't think that. I think we can actually go out and really help people, and I'm excited to do it. Okay. Do I have a gum sponsorship yet? From Tim Tom. Sorry, I should be chewing gum with my mouth shut, I think is what he was trying to say. But I don't. But I will tell you that I enjoy Extra is my gum of choice because it's sugar-free, and I have one heck of a sweet tooth. And it helps satiate my appetite as well as keep my sweet tooth down. And the fact that it's sugar-free means no calories. It's not going to rot my teeth out. In fact, the dentist keeps giving me high marks. So there's an unsolicited Extra gum advertisement for you. But I don't have to get those overalls you're wearing. Okay, y'all remember the movie Batman, the original one? Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson is on there. And he comes into the big museum, and he sees Batman come down. He's got his grappler hook, and he comes down, and Jack Nicholson's up there, and he goes, "Where does he get those wonderful toys?" Something in his Jack Nicholson voice. That's how I read this one. Where does Jeff get those wonderful overalls at? I got them from, where did I get them from? I bought them, I just forgot the name of the store. I mean, you can buy it on my Amazon store. You can go to TheRealMartianstore.com and you can see clothing and buy them right there. It's not Tractor Supply. It's the other one. Coastal Farm and Supply is where I bought mine at. And then I bought the hood for it online just because they didn't have them in stock. But yeah, I love those overalls. Those are definitely well broken in, aren't they? In fact, they're getting holes in them. And I looked at patching it because I don't want to get rid of them because they're kind of meaningful and they're just perfect. Okay, a few more comments here. Hi, Mystic Mac. You're welcome, Rob. Have I seen where they use bottles in earth homes? Yes, I have. Yeah, so the problem with that is heat transfer still. It's a cool idea. It is a very cool idea. But heat transfer is the real big issue. Family of 5, depending on how much food you eat, polymath would be 2 trailers. Raspberry Pi 4, I have one. I have not made it very far because I'm trying to make it my wireless computer for my 3D printer at the house. But I haven't made it very far because I've got other things to go do. So let's see here. Okay, I think we've got the last question here, and we'll call it an hour's worth of live stream as a good test. What is the bad news from the doctor? I was lamenting that I had to go to the doctor and get checked out, and it was not good news, and it was very painful, and it was because I was diagnosed with shingles on my back. And let me tell you, if you have never had them, they suck. What we think happen, they happen when you get really stressed, really worked hard. And I was building the deck of I was building the shelter out there, and I was just going nonstop. And I was working out in the morning, trying to stay healthy, and then I'd go work all day, and I was so exhausted. And basically, it's chickenpox virus version 2. You get chickenpox, it stays in your system, and it hides along your nerve. Anyone who's had chickenpox has this. You have the virus still in you, and it hides in your nerves until something triggers a release, and then it attacks your nerves, and you get very painful nerve pain, and you get the itchy, scratchy chickenpox, but instead of all over your body, it's along a central nerve. And the most common one is from the bottom of your shoulder blade around your armpit up into here. And luckily, I was blessed with not a hugely severe case of it, but I was always joking. What is it? Terry Bradshaw on Fox Sports. You watch Fox NFL Sunday. My wife and I love watching them just because the dynamics of all. My wife likes watching them because they're just funny. And Terry, oh my goodness, that guy is just a whole bunch of laughter. But I was always like, man, that would suck to have to do shingle commercials. Like, how horrible. Who really gets that? And then I get it. And then I'm like, okay, yeah, if you're old enough, get the darn vaccine. Because it really sucks. Anyway, okay. I think that's it today. I've passed the 1 hour mark on the live stream. I've got to get to work. Today I'm hopeful that I can actually finish the build of the 3D printer, which you guys will see in future videos here. We're doing videos Monday through Friday right now, trying to catch you up because there are quite a few videos that you're behind, and I don't want you to be so far behind that it doesn't make much sense. But we're going to get those going for you. As always, you could follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, where we're putting more of the up-to-date pictures and stuff if you want to see that. If you are interested in supporting us, Patreon is a great way to do that. It's really helpful. Takes stress off. It's hard to sleep when you watch the bank account go down, especially in these times when kind of preparing for bad things happening. But if you can't do that, I totally understand. Something that would be very helpful is just tell people about us. Just share the channel. Help, help that way. Just get the name out there. If we could get 50,000 subscribers by June, that could pay for half our mortgage. That's all it pays for, which is not a lot. And then if we can get 110,000 subscribers by the end of the year, we could cover our budget, which allows us to do this and really go out there and make things happen. So those are the numbers that we need help with. If you can't help financially, but you really do feel compelled to help, that's a great way to do it. If you don't want to help, I totally get it. Don't worry. There's no hard feelings. I want you to follow along, have a good time, make fun of me, do all those things, learn from my mistakes. There's nothing wrong with just sitting and watching and enjoying this channel. So, and I mean that. I don't want anyone to feel bad if you can't help, if you don't want to help. It's not required, but if you do want to help, we appreciate it. So on that note, TheRealMartian, out.